agenda is to review and approve the minutes of the May 14th, 2012 Select Board minutes. I do have some corrections. Hazard is only one Z. Terry is Garland, Garland.
What number is that?
This is the opening, public present,
Okay.
the first part.
Sure.
And there's like three of Keith's name Hazard. It just needs one of the Z's taken out.
Oh, just one Z has it, okay.
Yeah. And Terry's Garland.
Oh, Carter. Maybe they're looking at the name tag and check.
Probably. And on number 5, it should say Ralph Hoffner stated that they have, instead of they have prepared.
Actually, I prefer to change that to CHE has.
Oh, that's right,
Because
yes.
they is I don't think
That's
it's
right.
scripted enough.
CHA, okay.
CHA has.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. And then on number 8, there is a $280,000 left in the line of credit. The word left should be after
280,000 left.
left in the line of credit.
Okay.
And on number 12, our furnace agreements from Curly Fuel should read after Curly Fuel before town office, town hall, and town garage. And that's all I have. Anybody else has any others?
Yeah, I got a couple of.
Okay.
Back to number 8,
Okay.
I would make the word finance plural, about the status of our finances.
Okay.
Just a technicality, number 9, I would close the parentheses before the word Mr. Coyne, where it says codes and standards compliance for town roads and bridge standards,
Okay.
close parentheses. Number 14, we went into executive session for a personnel issue.
Okay.
And one other. Number 6, that's not the division, from the division board it says.
Diversion, it says.
Diversion. It should be, I think, for Department of Corrections.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Okay, so make those changes.
Where you're changing that, you might want to change the, it says Department of Corrections, so scratch the diversion board, and
Yes.
the should probably be 2.
Right, good point.
2, yes. Yeah, I got that crossed out. I'm sorry. It should be 2. Does anyone have anything else?
And number 9,
Okay.
the chair stated that we need to, that's TO, so T level over, minor. Number 16, I believe it's Mr. Coyne.
16?
Second page, Mr. Motion seconded by Mike Coyne.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Connor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other corrections or omissions?
I move that we accept the minutes as corrected.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 2, review and approve select board pay orders, PR number 47 and GL 31 and GL 31A. 3 on the agenda, to review and approve town sheets for the highway department, town clerk's office, and lister's office. Number 4 is conflict of public concerns. We don't have any public here, so there's no concerns. Go right on to number 5. We have a list of delinquent dog list that our town clerk has gone over. There's 55 dog owners who haven't registered their dogs. I believe we need to have her or a constable send letters to the owners.
Do we have an established punishment policy for that? Is there a fine or
Yes,
any consequence?
there is. We have a policy, yes.
So we should probably describe that policy in the letter.
It is. What is your pleasure?
I move that we authorize the town clerk to send us letters of notice to those delinquent dog license
Okay.
owners.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. We have 3 requests for, we have a for Whitman Memorial Scholarship Fund, and we have 3 requests, one from Sarah Dixon, one from Drew Amidon, and one from Karen Amidon. These are scholarships for children who are graduating from Wyndham Gray High School. These 3 children are graduating in June. We usually take the interest only and use that to give to the children that are asking for the scholarship. What is your pleasure?
Do we know what the amount is even?
Yeah, I've got a
Who has it?
report. It looks like there's $10,000 in principal for that CD, and there's $686.14 available for to distribute. I'm thinking that since there are 3 applicants, generally we like to take the money available and split them amongst the applicants. So I will move that we authorize $200 for each student graduating.
Yeah, that's my thinking.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
One quick question is,
Yes.
you've got Sarah Dickinson, Drew Amidon, and who's the third person?
Sarah Dixon is the first one, Drew Amidon and Kevin Amidon, the twins.
Oh, the twins, okay.
Sorry. All right.
Okay.
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. All right, number 7, we have our contract from Keith Clark with the County Sheriff's Department. He was here last meeting and explained what his services are going to, excuse me, going to be. And now we have the contract that we talked about. What is your pleasure?
Is this it?
No, it's right here.
That wasn't sure last week.
And it's for the year 2012, 2013. We've increased the annual payment, and he's going to do monthly payments for us, which he's done in the past. And we're going to get more coverage.
Paul was asking me what the extra services were going to be.
It seems enlisted in the first paragraph, including investigating criminal activity and apprehending offenders, so those are additions.
Those are the additions, right? And any break-ins or anything like that, I can make you a copy, or I can have John Clerk make you a copy of that if you like, since you're right here.
The most important thing is that when somebody calls the sheriff doesn't have, we aren't contracted for those services. Instead, they can actually respond to these types of activities.
If somebody else called.
If somebody from our town calls.
Right.
Correct.
Whether they're in town or not.
Whether they're in town or not.
Right.
Okay.
They don't have to come out. If they don't have a deputy nearby, they may not be able to send anybody out. But at least they don't have to tell the caller, sorry, we can't do anything,
Right.
because you don't have a contract with us.
I'll rather take my time to read it over and get a copy of this
Yes, you can.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll get you one tonight before we leave.
Okay. All good.
I make a motion, we accept the new contract for 2012-13 of the Wyndham County Sheriff's Department.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 8, this is just a notice from the State of Vermont the Department of Environmental Conservation. Letting us know that a wastewater system and potable water supply permit has been issued to Alice and Jeff Vipers at 177 Barbara Jane Lane in Jamaica. And number 9 is our agreement for the computer appraisal services at the State of Vermont that were with the State of Vermont. It's called the Marshall and Swift Computer Cost Tables that we have access to, and this is something we do every year. What's your pleasure on that? and the cost is $231.85.
Basically, we're just licensing the software, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. I would make a motion that we concur with the contract and sign it.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
No, I haven't seen it.
Number 10, amended existing contract with NRCS to add 4 new projects. Lou, that's your project, I'm going to let you
Okay.
explain that, please.
Right, if you recall, last, probably November, we had a contract with NRCS to help, I think it was 4 homeowners last year with problems with their stream bank erosion issues. We were able to do 3 of those projects last year. The 4th one was a much more intricate project, and they weren't able to get the engineering work done in time to do it before winter.
Which one is that?
The 3, that was the Wilson project up on Coleman Hills Road. We did 3 last year, 2 of them on Pikes Falls Road, 1 of them on Water Street. Those projects all were very successful. If you recall, the way it works is the NRCS uses the town as their sponsor. We have a contract between the town and the NRCS. The NRCS last year provided 75% of the funding for those projects, and the individual homeowner had to pay the 25%. That's what we did with 3 of those projects. We had a 4th project, which was a debris removal project, in which the town paid the 25% because the stream issue was not really related to any 1 or 2 homeowners, but it was really a threat to the whole river and to our bridges downstream. So the town paid for that 25%. Those were all very successful programs. We were very pleased that the NRCS was able to help us. Those were called the exigent sites, which meant immediate need. Currently, they're working on the non-exigent sites that were identified last year. They've got the engineering work done for 3 of those projects. Again, the Wilson House is much more challenging. They've got the engineering work preliminarily done. They shared that with the Wilstermans and myself last week. They have a little bit more work to do on that before they're ready. However, our contract with the NRCS last year was only for the exigent sites. We need to amend our contract with the NRCS to add these 3 new projects, which are non-exigent sites. Those 3 projects include the Lombardos up on Pikes Falls Road. I think they're just before the Cully building, the camp. We would call it Cully's camp. They're up in that area on Pikes Falls Road. The second one is for Ostas, Michelle and Bonnie crew. And the third is for Silverman's on Old Route 8. If you remember on Old Route 8, where we had to bypass that house and come back out, that first house on Old Route 8 is right where the stream kind of takes a violent turn, and they're eligible for that. So in order for us to help these folks, we're not actually getting anything for the town done, we're actually just helping folks by being the sponsor.
Right.
However, the interesting thing here is the NRCS, because the fact that the state of Vermont is now a 90% state rather than a 75% state, these homeowners will only have to pay 10% of the cost.
And then you've got to go back and recompute the other ones?
No, they cannot do that. I think that was the contract that they had with us.
Yeah.
So I would like to move that we amend the NRCS contract we signed last year to include these 3 non-exigent projects.
Right, and then this is 3 plus the The other
You
one.
want 4? You have 4 here.
Well, it says 4, one of them is the Wilson, and they were actually on our contract last year.
Okay,
So
there's
the-
really
so we're
three
adding
projects.
3 new ones.
3 new ones.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's at no cost to the town.
No cost to the town, other than some administrative work that we do in our town clerk's office.
Okay,
And we did get reimbursed. These transactions went through.
Correct.
they went through rather quickly.
Yeah.
Rather quickly compared to what we've been getting with FEMA, yeah.
Right.
I would second that motion.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Now, corollary to that is now that we will have a contract with the NRCS, they have their engineering work almost complete. So we need to authorize the 3 projects we just talked about to go out to bid. So I would like to move that we authorize the bid process for these 3 NRCS projects. What will happen is they will go out to bid as soon as they're ready. They will go out to bid probably for a week. We'll have a site visit. They'll be advertised in the newspaper. They'll be advertised in the internet publications that these contractors tend to look for these projects. Then they'll be given an opportunity to bid, and then at sometime in the future we'll open those bids and award those contracts.
So these bids will go out, I mean, the bid request will go out after we get the specs.
Final engineering.
Yes, right, sure.
There'll be a bid process. It won't be a just look for somebody on the street to do the work.
Right. Historically, if it's been over a certain amount, we've had to do different, more exhaustive bid processes. Do we have any idea what the amounts are going to be in these?
The Wilson one is the most expensive. That's going to be around the $55,000 to $75,000 range.
So, okay, still, it's underneath the big.
Very much underneath that threshold, correct. The other ones should be around the $20,000 range. So I made the motion that we authorize the bidding for those projects.
Yeah, I would second that.
Second?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. And you have nothing else on that?
Nothing else on the NRCS?
Number 11, it came to our attention that the Grace Cottage Hospital bike tour, which they have every year, I think since maybe the last 4 or 5 years, I'm not
So
sure
this will
exactly.
be the 8th.
This will be the 8th year, and they've always used Pikes Falls Road going from Staten Mountain to Townsend. Pikes Falls Road is really not in good condition. It's not completed. We have not recovered from tropical storm Irene. Jamaica has not. Pikes Falls Road is not complete. At the last fire department meeting, which was last Wednesday, it was also brought up. And the members of the fire department and rescue squad feel that it's not a safe thing to have 125, 150 people, from little children to adults, riding on Pikes Falls Road. It's still not ready for something like that. I have to get in touch with Mary Giori or Andrea Seaton tomorrow morning, as I told Mr. Plant that I would let them know what our decision was. I did talk to Brian Chapin, our select board member, and he agrees that the road should not be open to the bicycle tour due to the condition of the road.
When I talked to Mary Giori last week about this, so they've got a meeting tomorrow morning. Are you going to get to
I'm going to get her to here before tomorrow, not before tomorrow, like morning.
Yeah.
So I will let them know. What is your pleasure?
Well, my thinking is that, number one, the road is closed except for the residents only.
Correct.
Number 2 is all we've put on that road so far is a base coat. We have not dressed it. Those things are projects that are in our next round of projects to do. All we have on there now is that rather bony 1.5 inch material. And number 3 is there are areas I think that we need guardrails on, because we no longer have that berm to protect people from going into to the river. So my thinking is that roads are not yet roadworthy for any kind of non-residential traffic, whether it be bicycles or whether it be vehicular. So my recommendation would be not to allow the event to take place.
Does anybody else have anything about that?
I originally had some mixed feelings about that because I thought that, to ride a dirt bike, but the more I look at the road, I don't think that's a good idea because the crowd's going to have. Do we need to pay attention to the possibility that they're talking now about going down towards the road and still coming into Jamaica at the Iron Bridge and going down there? Do we need to process that with them?
When I talked to Andrea on Saturday, they're not sure. They're going to decide what they're going to do tomorrow, whether they're going to continue, find another route. Apparently Mount Snow's having something that weekend, and so Route 100 in that area will be busy, so they don't want to take a chance. I mean, Grace Cottage promotes health, to keep people healthy, not to get hurt.
Well, I guess my thinking is that's our section, the Jamaica section, Route 100. There's not a lot of
There's
people
not much,
there.
and I did explain to her that the bridge that had washed out is a temporary bridge, and it's
There's no
It's not the
pedestrian.
best, if there's cars going back and forth, it's going to be hard, especially you've got little children and even adults. And adults have been hit by cars even if they're the best bicyclists.
If we were going to allow them to use Route 100, I would want to have some kind of sheriff or something like that at that bridge to make sure that nothing would happen at that bridge.
That would have to be up to them to supply and pay for.
Right. I mean,
But that
there's a
would
very
be
narrow
their,
shoulder there. It's just very ugly.
but they can come up with their own decisions.
Yeah.
And I think they will, and hopefully they'll do the right thing for it. I just feel it's a big safety issue, and I don't think we should do it this year. Hopefully next year they can do it. I know they can't go through towns and go through the road that they were going to go. I can't remember.
Several places
were bad.
can't be used
Right.
because of iron.
Right.
And so
So it's too bad they didn't cancel it, but that's not our decision.
they may have been a little more optimistic about
Right.
the response than we were,
Right.
or that turned out to be accurate. Yeah. There are some options. I drove one of the options the other day that would not involve our areas right here. And there's a couple of choices, but they're not really good ones.
Right. But that's up to them
So
to
that's
decide.
entirely up to them.
Just Pikes Falls Road.
Just Pikes Falls, yes. Andy, do you have
Well, I
anything?
wouldn't want them to choose West Jamaica Road either.
No, either one is.
Well, Pikes Falls, West Jamaica, and I'm concerned about that strip of 100 from the bridge to
Right,
the
and they were
river.
too. Andrea was very concerned about
I
that.
don't think that's pretty.
That's not the best. Andy, do you have anything to offer?
I concur with. Well,
Okay, so, can we have a motion that I'll call Mary tomorrow morning and tell her that the road is closed to the bicycle event.
I would advise the motion in that I can move that the select board alert the organizers of the tour that West Jamaica Road and Pikes Falls Road are both closed and we do not feel it is safe for their traffic, for their activity this year.
Okay, would you repeat that again? Did you get that one?
Yeah, I think that the select board should alert the organizers of the Tour de Grace that Pikes Falls Road, West Jamaica Road are closed, and we believe unsafe for that activity, and to express our concern that the Jamaican portion of Route 100 is also unsafe for that kind of activity.
Okay. Did you get that one?
Yep.
And if you didn't, you can watch us on TV later, and you can write it down from the scribes.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'd second it if he brought it back.
Okay, we'll let him read it back.
How many bicycles is that?
I think about 125, 150, and they range from, 6, 7
kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
Historically, they haven't had a lot of little ones, but it's still open to whole families, and the concept is to have a family kind of outing.
right, it's a family outing.
And the beauty of using Pikes Falls Road, it's all downhill and relatively traffic-free for the most of it.
Right, and they thought that we'd be all recovered from the trouble storm or whatever. Would you read that back, please?
The select board should alert the organizers of the bike tour that Pikes Falls Road, West Jamaica Road, and that section of Route 100 where the temporary bridge is to Route 30 be closed for use by the bike tour.
Well, let's back up. We're not closing Route 100, we're just closing the West Jamaica Road and the Pikes Falls Road are closed.
Yeah, and that's their
We
decision.
recommend, okay,
Yeah.
should we leave out the route?
No, what we can say is those two roads are closed,
And recommend that.
and Route 100, we feel, is unsafe. They make their own decisions.
Okay.
Just to let them know that's up to them.
That Pikes Falls Road, West Jamaica Road be closed.
Are closed.
Well, right,
Are closed, it's currently closed, yeah.
and that the section of Route 100 between the temporary bridge and Route 30 is unsafe. We deem it unsafe.
For that kind of activity, for bikes.
Okay.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say
The only thing, this is just because of the way I am, we want to, the letter I did send out, expressing concern and support for their endeavor, just not this year. We want to add anything like that to it, or just not?
no, I don't think so. I mean, they know we are for it.
Oh, yeah, it's great,
It
great.
always has
great
been.
thing,
It's good for the hospital.
Yeah,
And it's not that we want to
no,
dismiss the whole thing. No, I think we're okay.
yeah, okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion carried. Lou, do you have anything else?
Yes, one thing. If you recall at the last meeting, we talked a lot about sidewalks and the fact that we were expecting some bids in for the construction of the sidewalk on Tuesday. We did get 2 bids on Tuesday. One was for about $297,000, which was approximately what the engineer's estimate was. The second one was for $440,000, well above what the engineer estimate was. However, the one below bidder had a technical problem. They did not submit with their bid some of the documents that were required by the bid documents and have been deemed non-inclusive. And we also felt that the bid for $440,000 was not in the town's best interest because the one item that they were well above was for the concrete cost. The engineer's estimate for the concrete cost was about $65 per square yard. Their estimate was $155 per square yard. Putting that bid up to the 440 actually ended up being 228 because they actually had mathematical error as well. So therefore, both bids have been rejected. Therefore, we have to go out to bid again for that project. We promised during the course of this project that we would try to do the best that we could not to do this project during tourist season. And I think if we go out to bid again this year, it takes about 5 weeks for the bid process to go out, and that's going to put the project smack in the middle of tourist season. So my recommendation to the board tonight would be that we postpone the next bid process until the fall, with the intent of construction taking place as early as possible next spring.
Yeah, that makes sense to
It
me.
does make sense.
So,
And that won't affect when they do the bridge?
no, has no effect at all.
Because it's this end of town,
Right.
bridge is that.
Okay.
However, it does pose a very interesting issue. and that is that the town's going to be pretty much under construction for the whole spring, summer of next year, both for the sidewalk project in the spring and the bridge project probably for the summer and the early fall.
We'll get it all taken care of in 1 year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we've got
One
one,
construction season.
but it takes holiday that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough on the businesses, but I think doing 2 years would be even tougher.
Yeah.
Right, 1 year.
1 year, and then do the same thing again the next year, get it all out of the way and get it done with.
Yeah.
Especially on the heels of the damage we did with, that Irene did to us.
Yeah, so therefore, it doesn't affect at all any of the grant terms. We have 3 years to actually begin construction, so we're well within the rules of the grant.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Do you have anything else?
I don't think we need to vote on that, just
No, just, that was just for us to, dates.
present update.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, I think
Paul, do you have anything?
I don't.
Andy?
No.
And I don't either. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned at 7:37.
Can I see the dollars?
You sure can?